Good morning, good afternoon, good night, guys, and welcome to another week's episode of Eat Fruit Pod EFP. I'm your girl Kay.
I'm your girl Killa. 4 A's to you.
And yes, it is like almost, you could say, the last week of August, or no, of July. And like, it's almost,
give it back that month.
am I being depressing to be like, it's almost the end of summer?
We're not living that life anymore. We have whatever we want for 12 years, 12 months out of the year. We got it.
Facts. So, Killa, how was your week? How, like, anything interesting? What's been popping?
The most interesting part of my week is that I started acid washing some t-shirts, as you can see. Not even the acid washing that's that important. It's that I haven't really been doing anything creative. I've been on a low. And you've been asking me for weeks, like, how I've been feeling, and my answer has been, I don't know. I've just been floaty. And then I did something creative, and now my week is good. We're not floating anymore. But that's the change. So far, how about you? What have you been getting into this week? I see your interview with Common Sense Eli. Banger.
Thank you. It was really great. Shout out to Common Sense Eli. He really gave a lot of great information, and like, he's someone that I also like to watch on YouTube, and like, you know, he I feel like he doesn't hold back the information and gives you enough that you can also do your own research and verify, which he also emphasizes. So that was definitely, I would say, a W for me, because like, as I said, that's someone that like we heard on previous weeks where I've been like, yo, I had the opportunity to speak to someone that I've been following and like really interested in social media, and then it just like meet your hero, seeing how magic works, and then like a following week, someone that I also enjoy get to think, I reach out, and it was a completely different experience. So that's life, like balance, Libra life, like, and you know, I'm so happy that Killa and I even had that. Like, shout outs to can I say Shan? If that's okay, but like, shout out to her, because she also sent me some videos of like, just based on what we were talking about in the podcast, and like just motivation and like not being discouraged and letting people like, you know, steer you away from your goals and stuff. So, you know, shout out to her. Yeah.
Shana Karasi.
Yes. So shout outs to her, and like,
shout out to Shana and lots of We're saying the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, go
we were saying the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, go
No, we were literally saying the same thing, so you said it.
Yeah, but like, honestly, and I'm so happy that like, you know, you and I, Killa, had that like transparent conversation, because I was being like just so open and honest, and like the people saw that. You were open and honest as well. People felt that and saw that, and like, you know, we put that out in the universe, not to be malicious or anything, but to just be open about what we go through. And I'm open with sharing. Like, I didn't expect that this was going to happen, but no, I won't say that, because it was something that I pursued and I went towards it, and I didn't let something that happened before defeat me from like, or persuade me from going towards, you know. So that was really dope. I say that was a W. So shout out to you as well. I've really been like getting into my working out. So I'm still on that train, and it's been feeling like great. So still sweating like a hog, but like it's been feeling really, really great.
It's like game.
Yeah, like you're seeing the little games. You're seeing the little arch be defined more. You're seeing local 1, 2, and you're like,
snacky. We're getting snacky. Okay.
We always snackalicious, baby, but you know,
a little extra icing or whatever.
There we are. So
a little extra lemon pepper.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it was just one of those things where it's just like, I'm always saying I'm gonna do, and I never I felt like I wasn't really following up. So I'm really happy I've been thus far adhering to that. What else? There was something else I really wanted to talk about that happened this week for me. But Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Ooh, vibes, vibes. What are we drinking right now, Killa?
Appleton Estate Signature and Snowberry Peace Tea. Ratchet juice.
It's a whole vibe. I'm drinking some like ginger tea, but it's all good.
That's okay. I have water with key lime beside it. We gotta keep it alcohol.
You're majority of the time healthy, so I'm not worried about you. Suddenly I got the urge for like a nice piece of steak for dinner. All right. Now, yeah, speaking of food, also like a while back I recorded that show with the the owner of Pili Pili Spices. I hope I'm saying it right. But I'm really excited. That episode's supposed to come out soon. So you guys will be able to make fun of me and laugh, and we'll be able to have a great freaking time laughing at me while I'm cooking salmon on people them ting. So
be high, so you can have the munchies for effect,
Yeah. I was definitely can I say that? You know what? I won't. But you know how the regular go.
Well spiced up, well seasoned.
Well seasoned.
Well seasoned.
So let's hop right into, I guess, the week pineapple fruit. Sports Illustrated, a lot of sexy ladies. We're covering the magazine. Shout out to all 3 ladies, and everyone's looking great. I see that mainly Megan was getting she was the first female rapper to cover Sports Illustrated, so that was like really amazing. Sorry, and she looked really great and natural and banging and glowing and coconut oily.
Oh, yeah, very much. I agree. She looked beautiful. I like the fact that they made it all about there was a phrase on Instagram, it was in a meme, and it's no longer people of color, it's like people of the global population or the global majority. People of the global majority. It was all people of the global majority. I like the fact that they did the first few respect on levels. 1, because she's a woman. 2, because women rappers, they haven't been getting respect for the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Ever since Queen Latifah and Moni Love kind of fell off the scene, they didn't feel like they needed to be respectful. Naomi is always like, she's just doing her thing as per usual, but I love seeing her always. I thought it was interesting that she got clapped at for doing that. And that's when I realized I need to get in the Twitter game, because people are out here just saying whatever they want. And I'm just like, so my girl says she's going to take a break from tennis. Who told her PR team? Who told you her PR team doesn't keep working? Like, what is that?
And I'm just like, I'm tired of them coming for. I realize there's a certain energy that's coming from this tennis world. I definitely see it because of like this private club that I used to, work at, where they have racket sports and stuff of that nature. So I definitely see how they move, but like, it's definitely leaking over and like spilling over, and it's just like, okay, so we've seen you do this with Venus, we've seen you do this with Serena, so yeah, okay,
exactly. But you know what? Outside of that, who gives a shit? Her PR team is still up and running, doing their job, waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, handling the business. Good for her. I'm so happy. I didn't really like taking the other girl before this, Lena Bloom.
Neither did I, but I was very happy to see her there.
Yeah, and her pictures are so beautiful. Like, they suit her so well. Like, the color of her bathing suits and everything. Like, the story they created in the water for her was awesome. And I love what she stands for also. One thing I didn't really love for it, like, Megan looked gorgeous. I just feel like I looked at the swimsuits that they were picking for her, and a lot of them were Fashion Nova, and I could tell they were Fashion Nova.
She just dropped a deal with them. Like, I think she has something like that.
And that makes sense. Why do they have her in $6.99? Like, why?
No, she just dropped a I won't say just, but a swimsuit collection.
Okay.
With them. So I think that was like her cross.
Okay, the tie-in kind of thing. That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, because I thought the same, and then I went. I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay. So that was a great spread. Forget that. That was my only qualms.
And mind your business.
That's a business move, so you go, girl.
Get your coins. Get your coins.
Right? Get your good hard-earned coins up.
I feel like if I can put into the contract with Fashion Nova, will also be published in Sports Illustrated. I feel like that will up it a couple of racks.
That's a great play.
Yeah.
I'm totally for that cross leveraging, and like you're the one that's facilitating, ain't nobody else doing that for you. You're your own middleman. Hell yeah.
And I know this isn't really what we were like discussing, but like I love the fact that I see, because like artists or different entrepreneurs paying more close like attention to that, because I'm like, come on, all the movies that we watched when we were younger growing up, that would have the Coke bottle or the Mountain Dew can placed specifically where we could see it and the logo turn, like that's ads. Everything we see is ads. Everything we see is marketing, want to admit it or not. So like when I'm watching videos now, even with like the Migos, so you can see they're wearing headphones, and the headphones are the Beats headphones, and like, you know what I mean? Like other little things, like, so it's just like be very, I love that everyone's just becoming way more conscious with their branding. And it's not just like, oh, I'm wearing this brand because I like it, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like as Black people, we've given so much to these brands like over this time and given them so much of a rep. And it's just like, yo, we have the sauce to rep it ourselves. Let's endorse the things that are in our ecosystem. And I'm not saying, when I say in our ecosystem, and not necessarily only having to be like Black, but just the things that like we rep, that are paying us, that are putting the commas into our bank accounts, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So hey,
support the support system.
There we are.
Create the ecosystem.
There we are.
Yeah, so I thought that was great. I thought it was great for Black women. I think it was Black
first trans woman.
First trans woman, yeah. 100%. Yeah. And she looks so good. She looks good. We bow, queen, right?
All right, let's go.
Yeah, so that was a good look. I love that. And I love that, like, that's what came from 2020. Like, those are the flowers that are growing up from, like, the destruction of 2020. And I'm happy for that. You know what I mean? Small steps, not the last step, but a good day in a day of steps. So I'm like, yeah, ladies, y'all look good. Y'all look beautiful.
Yeah.
They got the gold reflectors on you. They did you proper. I'm glad that was something that we were able to experience.
I loved it too. It was beautiful. And the editing, video, like everything was done beautifully. I think Tyra also, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I did see it floating around that Tyra was sitting very comfortably, fully clothed in the pool with Megan for an interview for the swimsuit issue. So
that would actually be such a beautiful tie-in, because like Tyra's the original first Black woman to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So that would have been like, that to me, that's like princess and queen, like just turning over together. I love that idea. That would have been awesome. Did it actually happen, or were they just like?
No, it happened. Like I didn't watch it yet, but it happened. I just feel like
lovely. And I know people shit on Tyra because but we're all wrecks. Like, we're all train wrecks. Ain't nobody perfect, but like that kind of moment is pretty monumental.
I love seeing all of this, but I also feel like people that are signed to Roc Nation, I really love seeing them flourish this way.
Eat fruit and mind your business.
Is Roc Nation known to be like a flourishing company, like that helps their artists flourish more so than the rest of the industry or so or whatnot?
I feel like, just to play devil's advocate a bit, I know we all know what's going on in the media, and like the rate at, I love seeing her growth and everything, and just by seeing some of the deals that are being made or how fast they've been made, the Grammys, and as we said, we love Megan. She's young, she's growing, we support her, but I can't act like there isn't a broader conversation of just like, okay, there's also like how people be like, there's other female rappers that were definitely doing more. You can see they have more maybe notoriety, but because maybe Roc Nation has a bigger bag or they're backed or endorsed by certain people, it's kind of like a thing where like, maybe I won't show up to your award show if this doesn't happen, or like this deal needs to happen or else this deal won't happen. Like I wouldn't I wouldn't put it out the box as to some of the things happening. Not saying that's why she's getting Sports Illustrated, but I'm just saying, I'm like, we've seen it happen before, right? And I'm just like, in the midst of everything happening, you know, they're doing a lot of things that are happening as well to be like, don't worry about that, or look at that, look at this.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a bait and switch. And are you speaking specifically in that particular artist's walk with Rock Nation? Well, yes. 100%.
But I'm just saying, when things happen of that nature, I don't want to say it's a rollout, but there's just certain things that we see happen, like, you know, kind of like, no, not in similarity, but when the revenge porn, and Molly Bloom, was her name Molly Bloom? That lawyer, that white lawyer that was like basically the lawyer for all the women that were coming after these men that were basically sharing their like nude photos and she was basically known as like the thought lawyer or whatever for a bit. Like, so, you know, I just feel like Rock Nation is an amazing place for her to be at right now with all this happening, because we've seen stuff like this happen to others and it hasn't like fall through so clean, or they haven't won a Grammy to fall back on, or to be the first rapper out of all these rappers we've seen up until 2021. So Grace at Sports Illustrated, like a lot of strings.
I agree with the strings, but like in terms of other female rappers who did more, I don't necessarily think it's about the ones that did the most. It's about the ones who became the most visible, which is what we're saying about Rock Nation and how they have the ability to allow that for their artists. But also, like, Megan's a personality. People love to tune in to the shit that she gets into. They love it. And I feel like that's also why she gets the things that she gets. And that's where you're saying there's the whole, hey, maybe you should look over here instead of looking over here right now. Hey, just put your attention here when we're talking about this person instead of having
like
your
magic,
attention.
You know, you want
Eat fruit and mind your business.
But just you know,
I love you, Black Queen. I'm glad you're good. I love you, Rock Nation. I think you're owned by Black people. I fucks with it.
And like her Rolling Loud performance, since we are speaking, like, you know, Meg, she looked immaculate. Her thing was danging. She knew the assignment. She came looking glossy and amazing. And yeah, she did a great job. After her performance, I know that DaBaby had performed, and I think he did 2 nights, but he performed, and it was a great performance for me on a whole. He brought Tory Lanez out. He did all the tracks that people are loving him for, that are like hit records that he has out now. But there was a particular part in his performance where I feel like I was rooting for you. I don't really know. I don't know what happened. Like what, like.
I'm gonna be real honest when it comes to Baby. Okay, there we go. I have a lot of love for him. I think he's a brilliant, intelligent, young Black man. But I feel like I always feel that way when it comes to DaBaby. It's like, I was rooting for you, man. Like, just a little less coonery sometimes. But yes, I injected into your teams.
So more specifically, like, he definitely was bashing. I don't know who he was kind of side talking, but he was speaking on like down low people and making people cheer if they've never had like HIV, and things, just shaming for no reason. And I wasn't really completely uncomfortable. I just, why, right? So definitely social media is like, Twitter is like going crazy. And T.S. Madison, which I do respect and enjoy, you know, what she offers to the culture in terms of just her perspective and everything. She had tweeted on Twitter and she said, DaBaby, what was the reason? Do you know how many gays truly buy and stream your music? And do you the amount of people who are living with HIV AIDS that you attacked for nothing. Then the gays break their necks to be at events like that, to be completely disrespected.
Yep, 100%. And I don't think he looks into the severity of his actions. And I also don't feel like because he doesn't look into the severity of his actions that he really takes it like why? Like there was no reason for it kind of thing. Like it was very unnecessary and it could have been avoided if maybe there was a slight delay in his thinking process. Like before I let my mouth open, let me use this 2 seconds to think it over kind of thing. But I don't see him doing that. The baby is around for that. He's the dude that says almost the outrageous things, or he says the very abrupt, kind of in your face, very much outspoken kind of guy. And he's been heralded for it even when he's not necessarily that nice. You know what I'm saying? So now you have this happening and I'm just kind of like, even when it was when the magnitude was smaller, maybe it didn't bother you as much, but it was the same behavior and like movement. And now it's here and it's blatant. And now you're like, there's a problem with it. And I'm kind of like, there was a problem. Well, there wasn't a problem when you were paying for him to do it when it didn't offend you. And like, that goes down to why are we paying niggas for bad behavior or for being fucking dumb? Not to say the baby's dumb, because he's not.
He definitely is not.
He's not.
It's just like just really bad poor taste. Because like to me, didn't have nothing to do nothing. The only thing that like my mind would possibly go to is like this new video that I love that little Nas X just dropped at Jack Harlow, Industry Baby, and I'm just kind of like, one, I don't think this is a good time for you to do that because people are already kind of like, you have a track with Meg, you have a track with Tory Lanez, but as an artist, I get it. Both of your out of your top 5 tracks, those are 2 of your top 5 tracks right now. So like, how are you not gonna like perform it for the people? So and I feel like no matter what he did, people would have had something to say. Like, you know what I mean? If he didn't perform his track with Megan, they would have said something. If he did, they would have said something. And you know, Tory Lanez, he brought him out, and I feel like who throughout the whole performance, and then it's like you say that, and I'm like,
yeah,
like I was already kind of like, all right.
That combo that you just gave showed me exactly what happened when you saw it. You were just like, okay,
oh. Right? Like by the end, you're like,
yeah. Because I didn't actually get to watch it, but I was reading up on it a little bit. I've watched him in person. I love him. He's so intelligent, but he definitely, I don't know if that's something that's part of his strategy. He does toe the line of like the mouthy bad guy quite a bit.
But you know what? I'm not judging, but like anybody that's like diving into a crowd full of people during COVID, I mean, like, it tells you.
I'm not gonna hate on that man, because who knows? Maybe he said a prayer first. Who knows?
As I said, anybody's on stage diving, crowd surfing in the middle of a damn pandemic, bro. Like, I was already like looking at the Miami Festival, like, oh, all right. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was just a lot. So I don't want to say what's even worse, but what's even worse is T.I. now, he commented, also in reaction, as many celebs do. Killa's like, let me just, Killa's like, let me.
Trouble man, I love you, Trouble man. You're so intelligent. You have that work for that voice. But boy, sometimes when that Southern Georgian fucking man comes out, that asshole, cut it out. But let's get back to Trouble Man. Let Trouble Man 31 speak.
So Mr. Tip Harris, you know, he decided to put out there and said, if Lil Nas X can kick his shit in peace, ... so should the baby. Equality. And I said, nigga, what? Nigga, what? Nigga.
Wait a minute.
Like, I don't understand why that and you know what? Woo, circle back, because I said, you know what, maybe that's what the baby's talking about. That was his reaction, but I'm like, I didn't see Little Nas X or Jack Harlow say anyone's name or do anything.
You're right. You're
so
right.
I don't understand why such like shots, like unless they were trying to suck your dick and you felt violated, my nigga, I feel like what's the problem?
Right. You might be right. There might be like a low key, look, you're right.
Because I don't know what happened. There's something transpired at the festival because the way the man just like, you can watch it so you can see the body language, because I know
I heard it. I heard
but
it.
like as he was watching, he's like,
that's the only body language you can have when you're talking like that. He was clearly talking at his mic. I can tell, like when you hear his words and where they were coming from. Ooh, now we're just speculating and having fun.
Yes, we are.
just a heads up, we don't know if there's between the baby and not a Little Nas X, but we're just out here having fun.
And Jack Harlow, whatever. Like,
yeah, we don't know, but like, why? And okay, Trouble Man, I still love you. Like, you're a Black man. You're a part of the God body, whether you know it or you don't, or you experienced it or you didn't. But
how about if your daughter wants you to come in the doctor's room or not? Equality.
But beyond that, that's not equality. Those are two fucking different things. Like, Nas X putting out his video and giving his perspective on his life or whatever the fuck it is that he knows is nothing compared to somebody going out and targeting a sect of people with no sense to think, well, sometimes people get AIDS for other things other than being promiscuous. Pussy clat. Sorry, I don't even feel like you're a pussy clot, but you needed to hear it because for Jamaican effect, for you to actually understand that you got slightly traced up and you should think about it later, I had to add the pussy clot.
Yo. So Amber Rose now has chimed into the conversation.
I haven't heard from her in a minute.
You know I love me some Amber Rose. So she was like, I'm an activist first and foremost. This is why I started my slut walk, for everyone to come and feel comfortable in their own skin. This perpetuates hate and violence. I stand with the LGBT community. We should all feel safe at a concert, no matter what our status is, who we love, or who we want to give head to. A lot of rainbow flags. Then she proceeds to say, what in the homophobia, with T.I.'s post, and says, y'all are so mad that Lil Nas X is fucking winning. Love it. To be this homophobic feels like they are battling something internally. This is not equality. They are. This is hatred, period. Not that Amber Rose is the one to like speak for us. That's why I started with T.S. Madison.
This is
more stay in the game.
Yeah, I know. But like, her perspective was actually quite fair. Like,
it was.
Yeah, like I can't shit on her perspective at all.
It was.
Not even a little bit. But I'm kind of feeling like we're always gonna have to, like, as Black people, look at a situation and say, so what is this for us as Black people? You know what I'm saying? And when I hear Amber Rose saying what she's saying, and she's like, I'm with the LGBT community. I'm sure she is. When I hear that, and when I hear her calling certain people to say that she's in line with them, I have to look at the fact that the LGBT community has sat on our head tops, just like the feminist community, just like the green space, just like the vegans. Like, I'm always gonna have to turn around and say, so are you just shitting on him because he did it and he's Black, and you feel like, let's tell this nigga not to say shit ever? Are you using that? And sometimes you have to say, is that happening?
Yeah.
Before you even make a decision, and you might not think you have to, but you are a Black person, Amber Rose. You're an ambiguously raced person who happens to be from Africa, halfway, whatever. You're mixed, but you definitely have Blackness in you. And if you don't think in 2021 that you have to think about those things because, you have all these other races, and, you have so many different experiences from having all these different bloodlines. Nope, you still have that bloodline in you. And that bloodline still has the same issues. So I do have to add that to it. Like, yo, at some point, like, we do have to say, are we just mad at him because he's a Black man who did it? Or do we have to look at it and say, all right, Black man, there's a good chance that your toxic masculinity is tied back to a lot of things. You need to deal with your toxic masculinity, sir. And that's the end of it for me. It's like, hey, old baby, you need to set yourself a little bit. Like I said, not everybody who has AIDS or HIV or even like, so what you think is an STD has it because of being promiscuous sexually. Some of them have gone through shitty fucking experiences to have those fucking diseases, or when they tried to like have a fucking blood transfusion or anything like that and ended up with it after. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how these people contracted these things.
Exactly.
And that's where like you got to be careful. But I'm going to tell you that straight. Watch your mouth and be mindful, young man. I know you're getting paid to talk shit and talk wild, but sometimes it's not cool. Like, who are you? What do you believe in? That's where I leave it. I ain't hating on nobody. Everybody's good, but like, I'm kind of at a place where it's not wrong to call things out, but also like now your step up is have a little bit of a solution or have some kind of direction to give that human being. Trouble, man, we don't make excuses for bad behavior. So like it's polarizing, but on like there's so much in between that's not being addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like Trouble, man, you got a lot going on right now in these streets. I don't
open your mouth. How'd you even have time to open your mouth? Boy.
If you need to do something right now, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do.
You want to know what?
Mind your business.
That part. And what I'm gonna add to that, lady, is we all know in the beginning of the morning that your job is to make sure that your household is in order. Is your household in order? And at the end of the day, if your household ain't in order, you got work to do. Is your house in order? Is your household in order?
Most definitely not.
And that's a big work, eh? Don't think having your household in order is cleaning up your house. Having your household in order is a full-time blood clot job.
All right.
Whoa.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And I was raised like that. Like if not even just physically if there's shit to do, but like if the house is not in order, I'm not going nowhere. Like that's not when you leave your house. Like it's like in my blood. I don't know if it's good, bad, I'm not saying, but just like respectfully, like when my house is not in order, I'm not going nowhere.
So you feel me, eh? Like,
yeah,
you got things to work on, sir. And like, I love that you guys have all been given a platform because I just love hearing Black men share their perspectives. We like we spoke of in previous episodes, we have our circles and like, this might be toxic. We need to move forward from it, but that's what we have right now. Kind of thing. So yeah, no, I'm not canceling a nigga, but I'm gonna tell a nigga like align properly. Like it's 2021, we don't got much time to waste. Align yourself, bro.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it's necessary to come for Lil Nas X. I watched the video, as I said. I'm not sure if you saw it, Killa, but it was a great video, super clean. He's so creative. Like he's literally trolling y'all niggas because y'all won't leave him the fuck alone. Like that's how I see it. And I'm like, it's hilarious. When he did the jail part with the pockets, I'm like, oh, this nigga he's out here. Like,
okay,
it's great time. And the fact that, like, now in 2021, like, we could look at a young person like, bro, we may feel this way, but this whole new generation and the way the world is going, bro, and the land of the beige people, like, bro, they're like,
it's weird.
You know what I'm saying? These kids, like, this is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And I'm happy that Jack, like, I wish it was another Black person, but I'm happy that Jack took that leap and said, I'm not, like, my sexuality isn't threatened. And if he is on the down low and maybe the baby knows something, I don't know, like, eat from my business, nigga. Like,
that part. I agree. I love the video. I love the imagery. It's a very well done video, but I'm gonna be the same one to be like, we gotta look at what's happening for us as Black people, and some of those things do have trigger points, and they don't just have trigger points because we're just randomly out of the air like Bluetooth, homophobic. No, we have trauma going all the way down to our bones, and we're trying to rebuild ourselves. So it might be hard to see a bevy of beautiful Black men dancing choreography naked in a pink shower when we all know what jail showers stand for. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I don't, there's not too many ways you're going to spin that that's going to be a positive, like reinforcement to our culture with that, other than that they were beautiful and that they were showing that they're talented. You know what I'm saying? But like there are certain things sliding in with little Nas X that are very much about how we're looking at ourselves. And I all question like how much of your sexuality and the way that you portray it is really yours, or is it like resistance to what somebody else has told you your sexuality is supposed to be? And because I have to search for that as a Black person, I'm going to look at a young Black boy who's homosexual and say, you got to do the same thing in multiple places. Have you done it? He's young and he's expressing himself and his experience for where he's at right now. And he's not necessarily at fault for doing that. But the way it's being projected, there's definitely underhanded like themes being pushed through Little Nas X. And this is me saying it, even though I love what he stands for. I love seeing that beautiful Black boy say, this is who I am. And I'm going to, this is how I present myself. This is who I am. Yeah. But he does definitely like, and I can't tell him he needs to find himself because he's in that young phase where he's kind of supposed to be a cat without whiskers. You understand? And I feel like there's a slight exploitation on the industry's part and how they're using him to portray homosexuality and Blackness and male Blackness at that. And like everybody's heralding it because he's getting the spotlight. But I don't think they're realizing what's getting pushed. You're getting pushed as a fucking homosexual man that all you do is wow the whole fuck out.
I'll be transparent in saying this. I also feel like that is also him being his authentic self, but his popularity is also fine by how much people hate him. And I say that to say, like, you know, as you guys know, I have the blog. I constantly looking at like what's happening on the back end. And I remember shout outs to Obumba Pussy Rascal on TikTok. I love him. But he is like fucking amazing. But I posted a video from him on the blog, and the video went viral. But you see that part where you do the view insights? It had, I want to say like maybe close to a K of likes, but it had almost 5K shares, and they weren't public shares. And that to me said a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm not cool. Like, I get it. We send things internally to our friends, but the fact that like, even if you like, that's how much y'all hate to see someone authentically just be themselves.
Well, when it comes to this industry, you can't just assume that anybody's image is authentic just because they're very good at keeping the appearance of it consistent. And even when you just said that, I have to look at like, we think that he's this like autonomous, freestanding entity that's just out here trying to like rage against the system, but somebody's talking to him too. Who knows? I think
true, but I also think so because like he literally came in the game as like Nicki stan, and then changed his account to like
yeah. And he was always a troll. He was always out here trolling for the people. I agree with all of that, but like I'm telling you,
I agree with everything you say.
He's being egged on in places. Definitely. And like my thing isn't with him. He's a young person expressing himself. And really like he's not old enough to know all of the like, well, you know, we're really lying to your eyes, and what's left is right, and what's up is down, and what's down is up. That's and it's not for him to know. That's not his place right now. He's doing what he's supposed to do. That's true. And I just kind of feel like he's being directed for it to be in a place that's supposed to look like it's empowerment, but really it's sometimes pushing an old stereotype that might be toxic that we need to let go of. Like he might be pushing the same things that lead to that help those gender roles. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
But I love him. That video the way it was shot, the color, that scene that you were talking about with the sweat. I went like this. Because
like I ain't got one, but I got two bitches.
It was so brilliant, but even the transition, woo, that was a whole last thing. He was talking about how Kanye produced that. I heard it, and I was like, the first time I heard it, I was like, clearly Kanye produced this.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Kanye production. Hardcore Kanye production.
All right. Well, shout out to you, young people. Keep doing your thing. I ain't holding y'all back because I know how, you know, people perceived us when we were young doing our thing. So
one thing I will say, low key, don't think I'm shitting on anybody. Young people should be bumping things. We don't go through this life pristine. I'm not saying lose limbs, but like grow a little, explore a little, test out some waters. You should.
Facts.
Find your boundaries. You should. It's healthy.
Super facts. So shout out to everyone that performed at Rolling Loud. Like, I definitely also want to highlight Pressa making an appearance when he performed with his babe Koi, and they had.
I'm gonna get melty, so just don't even mind me.
And they had a lookalike at the end on the stage, and I was like, oh, that's what we doing out here. So go ahead, young people, and like Koi was doing her like, you know, I was saying to myself, I was like, I love this because while everyone thinks she's receiving so much hate, everyone in Canada is like, well, not everyone, because I see the hate coming out too, but I'm like, y'all niggas are haters. Once again,
niggas are hating on her.
Y'all here, and now you feel like, oh, why him, why her? Don't be that guy. Be happy for them. I'm happy for him. I'm like, Koi, you have a whole country writing for you now. That's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Because we love Pressa, and you're his man. He's protecting you. So that's like how we roll. So that's how I feel about her. And I'm like, leave little Koi alone.
He came on the track and he's like, yo, my girl reps me. And you're right. We're all just like, yo, that's our little nigga from fucking Southside Jane, yo. Whatever Pressa says, if Pressa says get him, we gonna get him.
Get him. yes. Like,
I'm so happy is like, it's really cute. I agree.
You see how these niggas like react or deal with like Toronto people coming in and breaking the infrastructure or like being in their face and there's nothing they can do about it. I love that shit because as I said, I remember being in New York and stuff when I was younger for those summers, they ragged us for being Canadian. And now we're at a point where like it cannot be denied. Like you need the sauce. There is a sauce over here and you have to acknowledge it. So these Toronto niggas are coming through, our female niggas are coming through, everyone in every industry is coming through and we're just killing shit. Videographers, everything. And I love it. Keep busting down the doors. Keep making these Americans be uncomfortable. It's like when UK artists like Georgia Smith or whoever come and bust through from a next country and they act like, you know what I mean? They don't know how to deal because they're really uncultured. Well, let me tell you, they did a great job. Coily Ray and Pressa's, what do they call themselves? Cressa. They did an amazing job. Like I'm all in my feels with them. It is so cute. Cressa, okay? So I'm definitely a Cressa stan over here. All right? And y'all go ahead. Cressa.
Yo, and I'm dying because J-Lo's back. Sorry, Bennifer's back. Like, this is killing me.
Don't be fooled for the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. I know where I came from.
Stop, Bronx.
Yo, that's all like.
If you don't know, we need to touch a party. That's what it is. We got happy feet and we in the house. Okay.
This weekend, what we saying though? Low-key, I was gonna ask you. I was like, what we singing though? What we sing? But I digress. But I digress because I'm gonna repeat myself.
So we love you. You raise our frequency.
Yes, go on, Crystal, go on true.
Here, bless spirit, shelling to own a woman. Yes. Shelling.
Right? So moving forward from this music stuff, let's get into space talk, right? Celebs are denying their invitations to space on these exclusive spaceships, or they're going and they're planning to go. And more recently, Jeff Bezos successfully came back to Earth, as they say. He came back to Earth from space on his thing, and he thanked his employees and customers for basically financing his trip. How bold. How bold.
So that right there to me up front is like, white man, you need to see yourself a little bit more accurately. You're a bad guy, and you thanked your victims for being victimized while you prospered. There's a problem here, where in your head, you might think you're a hero. And that leads me to believe that we need to start rethinking how we feel or what we really believe about this hero archetype. Because all he did was try to present himself as that without thinking that anybody could feel any other position or any other way about what he was saying. Like, that's a PR move gone wrong, in my opinion. But really though, you thank these people when you brutalize them, you abuse them for applying to work for your company, went into outer space, and who knows if your ass went into outer space. Maybe your ass went into outer space the way that Jim Carrey in his movie went into outer space when he realized that he was living on a soundstage. But that's neither here nor there. We don't care either way. If it was a soundstage, you put a whole bunch of money into that off the blood and tears of the people that work for you. Wow, you turned around and fucked up industries and ruined small businesses. What's happening here? We need to start telling the truth about what's happening here. We need to stop making these people important
in their
lives.
I'm surprised. The truth is right there.
It's like I agree. The truth is there, but it's just like, how you are right. Because how could somebody be so blatantly disgusting and not realize that we were going to notice it? White men, you're not heroes. Stop it.
It's like one of our history books. You may know it, the Bible. Lets us know, this is how it should go be. It's always been like this, like during certain parts of what we would consider time. But like it's literally like this. Like, niggas knew where it was. All y'all niggas saying you're entrepreneurs, y'all never seen where these funds were heading, where he was getting the bread to, you know what I'm saying? And then
you heard it.
How could you?
And you heard it.
And then still empty your cart on Amazon. Like, he ain't gotta ask you for gas money. You already freely gave it to him.
You know how much it pisses me off to hear people say, oh, I mean, I know Amazon is the worst, but I had to get it on Amazon. No, you didn't. You wanted to because you wanted that 2-day fucking Prime shipping. Stop playing games. What are y'all supporting? And I get it. Like, I'd buy an Amazon stock at this point. Why wouldn't I? But that's the reason. Why wouldn't I? Because there's already a trajectory attached to it. And that's what he's doing the same thing. Like, I already racked up y'all's money, so I don't give a fuck. I'm literally going to sit here and talk out both sides of my fucking face, knowing good and well who I am. And I'm going to act like a nice hero fucking type with you guys while I do it. The man didn't say, thank you so much for my employees for helping me with this experience. He said, I'll keep killing niggas if I choose to because I'm going to get away with it and I'll prosper. You see all this shit here? This is built on the bones of y'all motherfuckers' heads, nigga. Y'all motherfuckers about to die. I use you for fuel. Thank you.
Gotham City, bro. Legit Gotham City shit. Like, this nigga left his wife. And honestly, I've been looking at him like, I know when other races gain weight and things and change in age, like they look different and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, man. Do you think he may have a double out there? I don't know, man. I don't know. The space food, I don't know, man. Google some recent pictures of Jeff Bezos and you're going to start staring deeper into it. You're going to be like, is he a Teletubby or is he real? Like it's looking on some different shit. Like I'm not even yo, I'm just saying I've watched you ever watch that movie Little Nicky, bro? Like this is so real.
Stop.
Yo, like yo.
I don't know what deal with the devil he made, so I don't know what tools the devil gave him. I don't know. So I don't know what's happening.
Nigga.
I don't know. That's how I look at it. It's like you're in alignment with the devil. That's what we need to understand.
Anything from anywhere in the world in 48 hours? They're almost done building that rocket that should be able to travel around the world in like less than a day or a week.
Does that shit still wow people? And sorry, listeners, if it does still wow you, wake the fuck up.
Bruh.
Because it's like, I think it's so crazy that in order for you to get it done, you have to put it in front of the people. Ooh, you see, we're gonna, and around the world in a day, and oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden, but not you, nigga.
No. I feel like
my 1975 French. Like, here we go with my $2,500 glass of champagne. Here, thank you.
I feel like people, I'm more sensitive or prone or like observant of these things because I've dealt with family immediately that majority of my life. Immigration was a huge part of our life. It's our whole story, but like it was a huge part of like my Canadian experience and seeing what my parents have gone through. And now I'm looking at space like, yo, this is another form of like another level of like immigration, bro. And they're low-key like, I'm sorry to be getting so deep, but like they're putting the systems and everything and all this stuff together. And like sooner or later, they're going to be like point system to come here, or whatever system they have that you can qualify to go to their planet or go to, and it's, bruh.
We go, ooh, I heard what you just said, and you said their planet, and I'm just like, that's what they want you to think, their planet. They don't own no planet that was there before them. That was
Lucy almost owns a planet.
They don't,
according to their systems.
But that's the thing, their systems don't accommodate for us, so we don't actually have to adhere to anything they fucking say. A planet is a planet. A planet is a celestial body. Take that in. You don't own a planet, just like you don't own a person, but you try to own a person beer time, so you wouldn't worry about trying to own a planet. Like I'm kind of off. I'm on some new shit, my nigga. I'm on some new shit now, and I'm just kind of like, what you guys built, I don't care for it. But also, it doesn't benefit everybody. You tell me about it so I can buy into it, so you can do it alone, and then thank me for it when I'm bleeding and almost on my deathbed because of you.
Bruh. It's wild. It's wild. It's super wild.
But I was nice to you.
Facts. But yo, every gangster, every bad man is always nice, bro. Don't forget that.
Me tell you the same thing me tell them every day to them bloodshot fears. Run your shit, bitch. It's not my lake of fire. A full 1,000 years, then I won't have to worry about not even a day. Let me calm down and drink my drink.
Man, so space is looking turd. It's looking wild.
Wow, they're like the wild west. What is this? How many times are we gonna see this fucking Campanche fucking like showdown in the square before we're like, yo, this is a joke. Let's cut this out.
Once you get VIP access, you gonna pay at the door. You gonna get your ticket in advance. Ticketmaster, how you get in space, yo?
And let me tell y'all something about this wild west. The white man never won. It was the native men that won. They murked those motherfuckers. So when you hear the wild west and they present it to you the way they're presenting it to you, they never won. They never won.
It's funny enough you bring up Western, because like I remember a couple of months ago, I was like in this deep, like, how I usually love to watch like my period pieces, but I was going through this phase of watching like just pure Westerns, bro. And like, I was looking at these Westerns like, yo, these mans out here were not playing. These mans would be like, gone. whole top of your ear, shut up. Like,
Done. Clean off.
That's the end of the fight. That's the end of the fight. All you hear is, ooh, and the whole village comes back out with the wagons and shit. Like, they start opening up back the blinds and shit. Yo, Western, those times are not. So if you're saying this is what we're getting back to, bruh.
And honestly, like, history's repeating, for real. History's repeating over and over. What side are you going to be on this time? And that's really my point. It's like, you see the same things happening. There's a model behind them. Yes, they're attaching their systems to everything they've ever attached their systems to, and they're bringing it into new things. You know what it is now. Yeah. There's no veil anymore. There's no veil. It's time to start thinking out of your boxes, think new things. It's time to like make even a slightly like variated move so you can start being comfortable with that shit, because you can't rely on these people. And by these people, I mean the white people. The systems that run shit. I came across, hold on, Instagram. So Instagram has some feature with like sensitive content now, and it's based on like the whole COVID situation. So apparently you're supposed to get an option if you went into your settings to opt out.
I went to all my profiles. Not all of them had it. Only some of them gave me the 2 options.
I did not get it. I cannot opt out. And I understand why I can't opt out. I really do, because I get shadow banned through my Insta stories regularly. I diss Pierre Trudeau. I diss anything COVID. I diss Rob Ford. I diss white supremacy to your face in broad day. I'll never stop. Fuck Instagram. Now, let's get calm. They didn't give me the option to opt out. And I was like, really thinking, because I'm always going to think the way I think, which is because I'm a Black woman who speaks her mind. I barely have 1,000 followers and Instagram's afraid of me. Yeah, you should be. Good job. We're in alignment. I love that.
Yeah.
But I caught a little reel that was on The Breakfast Club maybe 2 years ago with Dr. Claude Anderson. And I was like, Instagram, you don't know what to filter because you just let me get the cheat codes. And he was talking about specifically in America, but also like when you look at what's happening in America, you can almost like, you can use it as a test to go on to see what's happening in the rest of the world. And he was talking about the fact that like basically 90-something% of the world's wealth or America's wealth is distributed to white people. Now, for the overall wealth within the US, maybe there's like 13% left, and Black people only own 0.5%. Now, the amount that they own now is no different than they owned when slavery ended. And he starts talking about that, and he talks about the lies and the economics that we would need to move forward with it. And that's what all of this stems into, is that, there's shit out there for you to look into. No matter what Instagram is trying to hold on to, but like we're out here thinking that it's cut and dry, and it's not. It's not cut and dry at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are being starved. There's 13% of like the world's wealth that's left. Take it in. The Roman Catholic Church has more than 3/4 of the world's wealth. And the reason, and he breaks down why they have it. He's like, well, they're the ones that went to Africa, picked up 16 Black people and had them as slaves in the 1400s, didn't say shit, and then rolled out their shit how many centuries later?
Jeez.
You're wondering why the church is sanctioning people's suffering. And it's because the church ain't for God. The church is just set up in the place of God.
Oh, but that's what I was telling you with the Medici family. Like,
100%.
They would deal with things back then, and they choose the Pope based on who they want as politics.
And he's talking about like which Pope decided this was going to be for this, and which Pope which decided that. Now he breaks down the history of how it happened and why white people needed it. Like, Europe was in shambles.
Oh yeah.
Europe was in shambles, and once again we saved their whole ass.
Yeah.
And I bring him up to say like Instagram came for my face and then just handed me this gem. And I'm so excited to go buy the man's books, because we see the stereotypes, we see the systems happening over and over again. We need to make new moves. Mm-hmm. And they don't need to be like brand new, out the box, never happened before. Maybe they just need to be adjacent to what we were doing before in order to be a different frequency. And I'm super fucking excited. I don't know, because I'm not ordering it on Amazon. But I'm excited to get those 2 books in my hands, because I'm just like, I know Instagram tried it. I was
I was just saying the other day.
I'm gonna go look it up.
Yeah.
I just went to see. I couldn't remember what he said. I screenshotted his name.
Yeah.
So that whatever was there, I could get it after. Yeah. So when I went to look up the books, obviously Amazon came up first because their SEO is on his way. Yeah. But it's just like
they're working for that 3rd spot.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Like they're going hard.
Google, as the top search engines in the world. It's Google and it's YouTube, and then it will become Amazon. Bro, when I was applying for Amazon jobs, bro, you know
Amazon,
you know how hard it is
Amazon used to be bigger than Google for the search engine at some point.
Bro, the writer jobs for Amazon, for them ads and things that you see, serious process, bro. It felt like I was applying to Vogue, which I've done before, so I can openly say that for writing positions, like it's very intense. They're very specific, so they're coming
for the next, and like this is why I'm bringing up somebody like Dr. Claude Anderson, who's 85 years old, has one of his books are from 1941, and I had to be like, is it the same dude? Like I was like, oh shit, he's 85. He's been doing this
forever.
Is that there's people out here telling you that things need to kind of change, and they're giving you the opportunity to do so. Yeah, it's wild out here, but I'll touch back and let you know how those books are serving. But he was saying certain things, and when he was talking, I was like, I think we're kinfolk. I think we share a bloodline. Just the way he was barfing knowledge but chilling at the same time, I was like,
very possible.
I'm gonna
Irish or like anything like that, because I know like Jamaica, the Irish people in Jamaica, like they were my last name. Like I know it comes from. Like
I didn't look into him per se.
Yeah,
I watched that that reel, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
you tell me what you think about it. But yeah, he was talking about the wealth. He had worked under certain presidents in the White House. He had worked in there when they had started bringing in some form of affirmative action. I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but like just the knowledge he had was very much like, yo, stop even looking to these other Black gurus. And we were talking about this last week. And it's like, how do you know who's telling you the truth? And he's just like, you do, if you do your fucking research. And your fucking research, excuse my language, because I'm passionate, is not waiting for somebody to tell you they have a funnel, because you're in the funnel if they're telling you about the funnel and you don't know it. And he speaks to that like so casually, specifically to MV and Baby Boy, who I love, but don't love but love.
The Earn Your Leisure guys?
No. Baby from Breakfast Club. His name is right there.
Oh, Charlemagne?
Charlemagne. And he says it to them. He's like, he looks at them and he's like, I don't know. He's like, most of these self-help guys, these guys that are saying that they're here, he's like, they ain't pushing shit. I don't know, they might be your friends or whatever, but I'm telling you, they ain't doing nothing for the community outright. And this is what I found after we went down the rabbit hole. And that's what's in his book. And for me, I'm just like, if you've documented and you've put a process to it, I want to read it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's just because to do more reading.
100%. Like shifts needs to happen.
Like right now, I was already reading this before the Drink Champs came out.
Word.
But like Scarface's book, it's like
he looks so different now.
He does, but like reading this book, I'm like, nigga, I'm just happy you're here. You're here.
Yeah, and when I saw him on Drink Champs, that's what I said too. I was just like, shit, you survived, babe. That's not easy. And that's not easy for our community on top of it. Like when you take in how COVID has been ravishing the world, it hasn't been ravishing the world because it's a virus that's like so potent and crazy. It's just like, it plays on all of our pre-existing conditions. Cray.
Real horror movie. Right? But yeah, I think that's it for me this week, because yeah, we gave you guys a lot. We gave you music, we gave you sports, we gave you space talk, and we gave you consciousness. Like, go ahead with that.
I love that. Galang.
Enjoy your week. My bad, y'all.
No, I don't think it's your bad. Like sometimes some baby girl, like tell the people the way it is. Yeah,
no, we have to go to a party this weekend.
We do.
We do. I'm seeing way too much all white parties, way too much things, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, killer. We might step on the scene this weekend. But
I have adulting to do on Sunday. That's the only day. But Sunday night,
I'm doing it all.
Whatever. All right.
Doing it all this week because I want when I come back into this house, when this long weekend is done, it's exactly the way, like, you know what I mean? Like I was telling you about, I'm getting the little stuff to like,
the show
here and all that. Yeah, so it's just like, yo, and that's even what we were speaking about earlier, where it's just like, bro, if my house is not in order, like, I'm not going nowhere. So literally this week, I'm like doing all cleaning is done, but like regular, like I want to take out stuff out of the pantry. Like I have an old microwave that like bin's supposed to get thrown out. I need to actually carry that downstairs because it can't fit down the chute. Yeah. I would put it down the chute, bro. I would.
Microwaves are heavier than they look.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think it could fit. So with that being said, like I thank you guys once again for all your support, Bashment Summer playlist. Killa, I think there's a couple of new songs that dropped, so definitely gonna update the playlist. But you guys keep streaming it.
Yeah.
Like even today, I worked out to it. Like it's a great energy. Like has me feeling great. Killa, your hair looks amazing. I just want to let you know, like.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna shout out African Beauty on YouTube. Okay. She has 4C hair and she's been pushing the Shea Moisture leave-in conditioner. And I know she's like the GOAT when it comes to 4C hair. And I knew I should have gotten into it a little sooner, but I already had product. It doesn't make sense to have a bag of them. I finally got my hands on it and I used that for the first time. This time, for someone with 4C hair, like, you know, your hair gets dry really easily. And like, there's no crunch. For the first time ever, I used this. It's like the Jamaican black castor oil leave-in conditioner. And I put castor oil on after to seal it, but like no crunch. I'm doing this and I don't hear you know those like hard curls. I've never experienced this with my hair, and I just want to shout her out for giving me like that play from like months back. From years back.
Real ear. That's another piece where you buy for $9.99 at a buck and you put it on. No, that's a real ear.
If I buy nothing, I'm a real ear where I grow out of my head. But yeah, I love the Black girls on YouTube that help us like remember and know and, like,
Jackie, I know.
Like it seems stupid, but learning about this and learning about this. It's just, it's food for your spirit.
No way we could be using the Blue Magic oil right now and have our hair with these fucking results. Let's just.
Well, this episode has me done. I'm done.
Let's just be honest, bro. I know this what our parents was with, and what was the other one? The beeswax. You know what I mean? I get it.
Beeswax, like the Dax beeswax, like.
But this hair journey right here, fam, it gonna need more than that.
It's gonna need a whole lot more.
Thank you.
Baby, better you go outside and cut a stalk off your aloe, baby. But that's another conversation for another day.
Another day. I'm excited. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, guys. EFP Eat Fruit Pod. Thank you guys for a great week, great conversation. Little baby, please. No better with it. You have another baby on the way.
We got love for you after that. Don't worry about it, baby.
You have another baby on the way with Daddy Lay. Like, you know, a lot of things are going on for you. So
we're gonna have to talk about that off air before we talk about it on air, because
so let's just not. Come on, guys.
Maybe next week. Is that for next week?
Your business.
Let's save it for next week. So, arrivederci. All the things. Love you guys. Have a great week. Thank you for all your continued support. I'm your girl Kay.
I'm your girl Killa. 4 A's. Ooh, sponsorship because we kind of been slipping.
We actually haven't. If you listen to the audio, you would know that it plays with that.
I ain't come on and say shit all about y'all better check out Sant Lisi Skin. I didn't tell y'all need to check out icy little things for your waist beads because I don't care how much it's raining. You could just look at your belly and feel good. And then to look at bigkilla.com because we're doing customs now. We're doing cute ass little customs now.
I love it. It's super hard.
And you know, like you never know. There might be an eat food custom. You never know. We got the juice between the two of us, so you never know.
You never know. No, I really I feel like this adds a whole nother level. It's super hard.
Yeah. And it's therapeutic, so it's fun.
I'm gonna go and kill it also and I spell pure bleach.
Bro, I went outside. That's another story. The way the white people in the community were like, you got a hair tie on and you playing with bleach. And I'm like, you can join me. No, I lied. You can't. Keep it moving.
That is where we go.
There's always resistance. Stay resistant, friends.